Hey guys, some people asked me to do a video about the new season in regards to Ed and his changes. So I thought I'd just make a quick video going over each of the changes and what they mean overall. Maybe I'll have some thoughts at the end. I haven't actually really played much Ed. I haven't played any Ed. I've been messing around with Kage a lot because he's a lot of fun. But I think Ed's will cover, they kind of cover different matchups well. Like if people think Abigail loses to Kage, I think Ed beats Abigail, for example. And Ed beats grapplers in general, except for Birdie, in my opinion. But enough of that. Let's start with changes, right? The first change is stand heavy punch, increase in V-Gauge. So this used to give you 100 V-Gauge, which was probably about half. I should probably, let's normal. Alright. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit under half. But from 100 to 120, they want you to use this move more in neutral. And you should already, because this move is, it's probably Ed's most underrated move, I think. You get a hard knockdown, not a hard knockdown, but when you knock them down like this, you cover both rises, you double dash, you get a meaty setup, right? So they want you to use this button more in neutral, and you should. And you can even single hit confirm it into super and all kind of stuff like that. So that's the first change. Alright, the second change is they reduce the V meter gain from this. So basically, it appears that they're trying to make comboable crush counters less rewarding. It's not really a significant change. 30 less, 150 you gain from it down to 130. They're trying to make, they're just trying to make this a bit better while making this a bit worse. And they've done this for a lot of characters, I've noticed, if not all. They've been reducing V meter gain on crush counters that lead to combos and increasing V meter gain on crush counters that do not lead to combos. Well, I mean, you can super off that, but you get the idea, right? So, a minor nerf, but nothing significant. Yeah, that's that change. Alright, crouch heavy punch, again, the same. Down, it's the exact same change as stand heavy kick. 150 meter gain it used to be, now it's down to 130 for V meter, that is. So like I was saying before, same reasoning, comboable crush counter. They're just trying to change that stuff. They changed the Hitbox on this move. I can't tell you what this means overall. I imagine they made it better, more reliable for, you know, crossing over and stuff like that. But I can't tell you without actually seeing the Hitbox and Hitbox and all that itself. But yeah, I imagine their idea here is to make this more reliable, because this move previously could be anti-air by literally anything. Like, it didn't matter if it was an anti-air or not. If someone just pressed a button in its general direction, it would get anti-air. Even characters that didn't have anti-air jabs could anti-air this with their jab. So hopefully that's what the change is. Can't tell you for sure. But yeah, they wanted to change it in some way. Alright, they changed Psycho Flicker from 5 inputs to 4 inputs. So what does this mean really? It doesn't mean too much, and I'll tell you why. If you piano the input, it is going to be a lot easier for you, because pianoing 4 buttons is a lot easier than pianoing 5. But if you slide, this isn't going to make much of a difference. It's just going to make it easier to hide it in moves like that. See, even when I slide, I'm too slow half the time. But it's made it easier to hide in normals without it coming out, so you can kind of buffer with it. But a change like this would be good on a character that had different strengths of hands, right? Because Flicker Strike, there's only one version. It doesn't matter what button you end on. And there's no EX. if there was an EX version, for example, you could slide the first 3 buttons and then just press the 2 buttons and you'd get the EX. Or if there was different strengths like light, medium, heavy, you could slide 3 and then just press the 4th. And it would be a really great change. But as I said, and as you know, Ed does not have different strengths of Flicker Strike, and he does not have an EX version. So overall, this is a very minor change that will help pad players, I think, a lot, actually, now that I think about it. But if you're playing on a stick, this change doesn't really do too much. Psycho upper changes. They made it longer yet again, which is good. That used to whiff as a combo, but now it no longer does. But it's not, I don't think it's that, I mean, look, 72, 60. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Well, this is more damaging than what we used to have to do, right? Yeah, look, cool. Alright, yeah, so as you know, very bread and butter combo. That's what we used to have to do. Now you can do that, right? You could always do that, but you had to do a little micro walk after this to be in range for that. But now you can just do it, right? So a little bit of a damage buff there. As for whiff punishing, you can check dashes a lot better with it, but it's still, you can't proper whiff punish with it, and I won't even have to set up a button to show you. It just might take me a bit here. As you can see, it hits like that, but there you go. See, there's still ranges where it will whiff very hard, and EX is not the answer, because EX reaches, not EX shot. EX, as you can see, reaches even less far than that does. But yeah, this is a change that will require a lot more exploration than I have done, to say the least. But the basic idea is combo ability a lot better, being able to buffer, defend yourself a lot better. This'll, man, this could be a really great whiff punish now, in general. So yeah, have to explore it more as the season goes on. A good change, very good quality of life change. Every patch we seem to get a change like this where they kind of make it a bit easier to combo, but they don't really give us a whiff punish, which is what I feel Ed needs the most, you know. But here we are. On to the next change. Alright. EX Psycho Upper. By itself, this move is still relatively the same. It seems like it doesn't move as far forward. Maybe that's just me, but just looking at it, doesn't move as far forward, which can be a good and a bad thing. I think it's overall a good thing. But one major change, this is maybe the best buff I recall reading on the patch notes, is that it now combos. When you cancel it off a move, it goes from 16 frames to 13 frame startup. So you can combo off of a jab, right? Combo off that. Oh, I got counter hit on. That's a bit silly of me. There we go. There we go. See, all this stuff is very cool, because well, firstly, the knockdown pressure you get off EX Psycho Upper is very good. You double dash into a meaty setup where you can continue your pressure. Unlike regular, they can kind of rise it different. You have to kind of, if they back rise, you're kind of not really on them, and if they quick rise, it's a bit weird. But off EX, you can always double dash, and you will be right on top of them, and you can continue your pressure, right? So that's the first great thing about this. The second great thing about this is that we have a lot better punishes now. There are characters like Balrog, who had a lot of, you know, dash punch. Dash punch typically -4, and we do jab hands, and like the jab would connect, and then the hands would get blocked for some reason. Who knows why? It's a distance thing. But now, if Balrog does a bad dash punch, sorry, Jesus. If he does a bad dash punch, 4 frame into your pressure, right? That's really good. And like if Birdie does some -5 bullshit, he accidentally does a heavy bullhead in neutral and he's -5, but it's like got this dumb spacing where you like get a jab and that happens. No more, no more. You've got this. So this is a really great change. This is a great buff. Really, in a lot of its problem matchups, he has situations where he couldn't get punished on things that everybody else in the game can get punishes on, except for maybe Fang. But that has been kind of solved. I mean, there's still things that, like, you know, Birdie's EX Bullhead, for example, you're not going to be punishing that, I don't think. I haven't tested it. I don't think we reach far enough for that, but or fast enough. But this is great, really great change. Another thing that will, you know, take a lot of playing to really see where it shines and all the situations this changes for Ed, but they're all nothing but positives about this change. This is a great change that helps us a lot. The next change, EX Psycho Shot. You can now cancel this move into V-Trigger, which is kind of cool. This is a really cool change as well for V-Trigger 2. Not the exact change I was kind of looking for, but I can't say that it's bad. It is a good change. So you could do, for example, that's just an example of like an activate, right? There you go. If you got no meter, you can do that. Cool activation. If I get him to guard, or you're pretty plus. Even at mid screen, you know, you're pretty plus. This is a very cool change as well. This will be very useful. It'll make V-Trigger 2 better. With Ed, it's hard to say which V-Trigger is better. I do think that in a lot of, not a lot, but I do think it's kind of matchup dependent, but I don't know which matchups. There's a lot of value in V-Trigger 1, and V-Trigger 2, it's just, I don't know, they're kind of, I always use V-Trigger 2 just because I think it's cool, but it's good to see buffs like this, although they're not what I wanted. I wanted something like being able to do like this, you know, I wanted that to combo, right? That's, just that button. I mean, if it felt to me, this would combo off it as well, but I wanted that to be a combo really bad. I wonder if you can, let's try something real quick. No, that's a shame. Oh well. But yeah, cool change. This is really good, especially in the corner. This will be, well, I mean, you don't really need it in the corner, because if you're in the corner and they're blocking in the X5, well, you're already +8. You don't need to activate. You can use the activation on the hit confirm. So, but mid-screen, good mid-screen activate, good damage as well, really good damage for an activate. So, another cool buff. Alright, next move we're talking about is Psycho Knuckle. They decreased the stun that this move does from, it used to be 200 down to 150, which is, you know, whatever. That's a lot of stun, to be like fair, but I don't consider Psycho Knuckle, you know, it rarely hits, you know what I mean? But they did very much buff this move in that now in V-Trigger 2, you can activate off, just like, because what you could always do is you could always do this, right? But now you can actually activate here. And I'm not sure what combos you can get off this because I've never actually done it before. There you go, something like that, right? Yeah, that looks cool. This is interesting, actually. No, you can't walk forward and get a full combo. But, it's kind of cool. I imagine it's going to be very good on block. Let's take a look at that, shall we? Oh, what am I doing? God all. No! I mean, you're safe. You're trying to late cancel it. No, not working. I wonder how plus you are. You can't really reach with anything. This reminds me actually a lot of, it's a lot like Kage's V-Trigger 2 when he dives down and he's like, he's -2, but he's not really in range to do anything. This is just a way to kind of get in, and it's to get to a range. Like, this is a strong range for Ed, right? This is kind of, you want to be here, really. Well, I mean, you want to be here, really. But being here is a lot closer to here when, like, you know, if you can get in like this to that range, you're a lot more threatening. So this is a cool activation. I don't know how plus it is, and it doesn't really seem like there's any, you can't really, I don't think you can get too close while still being plus, but I could be wrong. Someone will have to check the, you know, frame data and stuff on that, but this is a cool buff as well, so good shit. I like their buffing V-Trigger too. They haven't buffed it in the way that I wanted it to be buffed. As I said, I wanted shit like this, you know, but it's still good. Another quality of life improvement, I think. Nothing game changing, but cool stuff that will help out a bit. Alright, and the final change worth talking about, I did skip over a couple changes that are more universal changes to the game, just like freeze frame not giving you invincibility in situations that it wasn't supposed to. Everyone got hit by that. But the last change is they changed the startup of this. So it was 21 frames originally, now it is 16. So basically they've taken a quarter of the startup off it. Good change. I don't know how, I mean, maybe that's, you could maybe get an anti-air of that if you're really quick. Maybe catch a back jump if you're really quick. Again, have to play a lot to kind of test these things. But, you know, this move goes right into super, right? So, it's kind of cool. It's a cool change. It's, yeah, it's good. Can't really complain. I mean, Ed, yeah. It's a good change. I don't know what to say about it really. Like I said, need to play more around with it to see how useful it is. Alright, that does it. That's all the changes for Ed in this Season 4 patch. My opinion, which admittedly doesn't really hold much weight. There are a lot better Ed players than myself. But, you know, I'll tell you what I think. Definitely buffed. Ed is definitely buffed. He's gotten a lot of quality of life this patch without taking away, without really taking away anything, to be honest, which is great, because he really did get hurt by the V reversal and backdash change, especially. I think I felt playing last season, those, I knew they were gonna hurt, but he used to be such a defensive character, and you could win by just being so annoyingly defensive, and they really gutted that to make it a lot harder. But these changes, while great, they're mostly quality of life. I feel like there's not much, if any, like game changes, you know what I mean? He's still kind of the same character. I think it'll take a bit of playing to understand, especially with the new range of this move. There could be a lot of potential to really make him a lot of a better character. As well as this four frame punish, it's just fantastic. Really great change. But if it was still last season and Ed was like this, I think it would move him up to, you know, he'd be like a kind of mid-tier, possibly upper mid, depending on how good these changes I'm not sure about really are. But definitely not like a top 10, I don't think. Maybe, but it would be like 10th, right? No chance that he would be a top 5. But how good he is, like I said, even not knowing about those changes and stuff, as I said, there's nothing hugely game changing. You know, it's the same character with some better quality of life. How good he is will depend on how hard other characters got hit, and how good the top tier of this season is, which is hard to say at this point. I honestly haven't even read the patch notes outside of Ed's. I do know stuff, you know, from listening, talking to people, stuff like that. But yeah, he'll be as good as... It'll really depend how good the best characters in the game are for how good he is, and who those characters are as well. If Bison is big number one on the tier list, as people are thinking, that's not good news for Ed, I don't think, because I think that's a pretty bad matchup for Ed. Maybe I just don't know how to play it, which is definitely entirely possible, but I've always thought that it was a pretty hard matchup for a lot of reasons I won't go into. So that's a bad one. But like I said, I've always thought Birdie was a hard matchup, and I think Birdie, he's buffed in ways, but he's nerfed in ways that I think will make him easier for Ed. Abigail, Season 2, I always thought Ed beat Abigail. I thought it was in Ed's favor. Season 3 and 3.5, I thought it's in Abigail's favor, but they have to play in a way that they can't just do Abigail shit. They always had to play in a different way than if they were fighting another character. So I always liked that matchup. And now with the Abigail nerfs, I feel like it might be in Ed's favor again, or at very least even. I think, like I said, I think Ed does well against grapplers that are not Birdie. Zangief and Laura, for example, Abigail, like I was just talking about. I think Ed does really well against those characters. Fang, I think, is his best matchup. So, but I still don't think Fang's going to be particularly good. Matchups where he had trouble, such as Balrog, have been made a lot better with this 4-frame punish into EXDP. So, yeah, it'll really depend who the top tier are, how strong they are. But I definitely don't think he's going to be a bottom 5 character or anything like that anymore. And I don't think he was a bottom 5 character last season, to be honest. He was close to bottom 5, but yeah, I think he could be solid mid now, upper mid. You know, that's my guess. But who knows, man? This patch is crazy. I don't even know. I think Akuma's still really good, right? Bison seems really buff. Ibuki's still good. Kami and Gaia got hit down a bit, but I think they'll still be decent. So, we'll see, right? Hopefully I think this is good news for us. It's not the best news we could have got, but they're good buffs, you know. At least we didn't get gutted like last patch, the patch before. So, good shit, and who knows, maybe 4.5 will come out in a couple of months and we'll have even more buffs. Which I doubt because, you know, Capcom and being Capcom. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my fucking ramblings for the past like 4 minutes about basically nothing that has anything to do with this video.